you start reading books, and I know we've all been there before, where you're reading a book and you get like super jacked about it, and you're like, oh my god, like I need to. I need to either write this down or talk to someone about it or something like that. And honestly, this book was that for me. Oh, I've been here for an hour already, it looks like. Anybody else use your diffusers as a work timer? At 1 hour on the dot. I do 1 hour and then usually I'm out. But I was actually on a Zoom with Mark Lack and his shortening the gap personal branding. So I am obviously we're doing the new system coming up, which is like so rad. I sat down with the lady that is making it with us, who happens to be in Enagic. Oh, crazy, right? Went through Gaz system, and she was just like, listen, this is, it wasn't working for me, all this sort of stuff. And she basically saw our program and how we have it laid out. And she was like, this is so much better. We should do this and this and this. And such an asset to have on the team. But match with that, I'm going to be doing a new personal brand, new page, the whole works, and really just trying to steer the ship a little bit in a different direction as far as my avatar goes. And I'm getting professional help because honestly, it's a lot easier just to have someone tell you what to do than you try to figure it out on your own. So today I'm just going to put one little message in the chat here because I do not want to be opening up this chat.
You're probably going to get a go live in the Allied Forces page here in a little bit.
Okay. As long as it's not bugging my flow here, I'm all good. Make sure anyone that wants to be here is going to get here. So maybe just while we're waiting a little bit, anyone have anything awesome that happened to him today that you want to share? Nothing? No one had anything special? Oh, that sucks. I had a great day myself. I got some tax stuff done, which is like the scariest part of my life. And that got done. I had a re-tax and I ended up paying an extra $191. So I was like, okay, you can take the 191. Not a big deal. And Dustin, man, you're looking pretty lean there, bud.
Appreciate it. I'm down 54 pounds.
Yeah. Maybe like how much smaller are you gonna get?
My goal is 10% body fat or less. So I got a long ways to go, but I'm not stopping until I'm shredded. I love it. To me, it's just fun now. I just got done crushing out a 50-minute workout. I'm listening. Fuck this guy's name. Jocko Willink.
Yeah, I'm reading his book right now.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. And I've just been bouncing around podcasts, listening to stuff, but 2.5 mile walks in the morning roughly. And then exercise at night, just eating better, pumping water. Just love it. My mind's clear, still not drinking. Haven't smoked any weed in 2 days. I'm at the point. I went back to reading. Oh, fuck. It's the guy, what's his name, Jason? The guy from Warrior, Garrett White.
Yeah.
And his big thing is just talking about like why men sedate themselves and why we drink and why we use drugs and why guys watch porn and stuff. And it's just because we want to get out of the reality of like what is actually going on in life. And I started really thinking about it. I'm like, fuck, that's why I drank for so long. And I've smoked weed since I was 14. And it's like, I smoke so that I don't have to think in the present moment. And I'm like, what the fuck am I still smoking for? I'm like, I want to be as present as possible and be able to think about it. And every time I smoke, my brain just switches directions and I start thinking differently. And I'm like, ain't working for me. So just staying as clear as I can and just keeping after it.
That's cool that you brought that up, man, because that's basically what we're going to be talking about today, but on a little deeper level. It's in my experience, and again, I can only speak for myself, but it's generally a coping mechanism on something that you're trying to avoid. You're trying to avoid confronting something that continues to happen in your life over and over again. And it was funny, Grant Cardone actually had a, you know, like one of his 1-minute videos, and there's this guy and he's like, yeah, I'm making like $180,000 a year or something like that. And the guy's like, you know, do you think smoking weed even at night or on whatever is good or bad? And Grant Cardone, he's like, when I'm at a light, he's like, I speed. I try to get as far ahead as everyone as possible because there's no one out there. There's no traffic. There's no one to run into. There's way less risk of getting into, you know, trouble or whatever. He's like, when you smoke weed, you slow your mind down. Everything slows down. Your mind, your body, your metabolism, your testosterone, everything slows down. Hence why I got myself the lockbox, because that lockbox locks, and you know what? You do it in the morning, lock the box, done deal. Go through my day. When I'm done my day, it's a little treat at the end. And what I'm finding is I'm pushing it later and later and later to the point where I'm at that kind of that cusp where, you know, do I need it to sleep or do I not? And that's basically the battle I'm having right now is before bed, because I do sleep much better. But, you know, when I was in Bali, I was off for a month and I felt great, you know, although compensated the weed with quite a bit more drinking of Bingtang, by the way. I should have bought stocks in the company, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, that's like, I'm doing Sober October as well. Joe Rogan, everyone here loves and knows Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan does the Sober October every single year. And it's really cool because on his podcast, he brings it up on every single podcast. He's like, day 21, still hanging in there, right? So it's, and also just cleanse your body a little bit. You know, we get so used to these habits and you just, oh, this is just what I normally do. But again, your meditations, your thought process, your creativity, all of these sort of things just hit a completely different level when you get rid of the distractions. And I am just as bad as everyone else as you try to justify, like, oh, just a little or just a touch. And it's like, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. If you need to go spend $60 on a lockbox, I'm telling you, your production will go through the roof, as well as your vibration will go skyrocket when you know you don't have a vice that's going to whip you out of your flow halfway through the day. You know what I mean? If you've already made a promise to yourself, hey, for all of October or whatever the case is, I'm not going to do that, and go from there. So, all right, guys, I'm glad you showed up.
Before you dive in, I want to say one more thing. I think the biggest part has been the discipline. Like, for so long, it's like I've just had a lack of discipline. So it's just been jumping back to the programming of, oh, well, I smoke, so might as well smoke. And then I was like, well, I won't smoke till I get done work. And literally I would walk in the door from work, walk to the room and take a bong hit. And I'm like, I still got to work out. So, and then my workouts weren't as intense. So now I'm like, well, I'm not going to smoke until after my workout. And then after my workout, I'm like, well, I still got to read. So I might as well not smoke till after I read. And I'm like, well, fuck, now it's 9 o'clock. I'm like, if I don't smoke now, I'm like, that's one day without smoking. And it's just, I don't know, it's just turning it into a game. And I'm on day 56 of 75 hard. And it's, I recommend this program to anybody because it's shifted my mind more than anything. More than, it's like, yeah, the health has been nice and drinking the water and the reading, but it's having to be disciplined, or knowing that all those, like, if I was to fuck up today, it's like, what were those 55 days for? Like, what did I put in 55 days for if I'm going to fuck up one day? No, just do what you got to do and just fucking be done with it. And then you feel good because you did it.
Yeah. The biggest thing you said there is discipline. And the reason why I've been in the gym since I was 5 years old, like literally, I had weights in my basement when I was in elementary school. You can tell the difference between someone who's disciplined and someone who is not. If you can discipline your diet, you can discipline anything else in your life. Your diet is by far the thing that's going to test you the most. And we all do it. You get out of the shower and you do the pinch test, or you stand in front of the mirror and you look at yourself and you have a decision. Do I do the slight edge towards my goal, or do I bail one more day? And what you said is the trick is building up enough momentum where you don't want to lose it, man. Like, it's, again, same thing, no drinking, nothing. And literally every day, because Laura for Thanksgiving bought, her whole family was supposed to come over. No one showed up, full turkey dinner for myself. But she had 2 cases of beer and they're sitting in the garage. So every time I drive into the garage, I look and they're there and I'm like, I'm going to get wasted tonight. And then like, where the hell turn that voice down a little bit, like, shut up. No. Right. And, or, you know, if we're watching Netflix or whatever, what show were we watching called the Bly Manor, and they're drinking in every episode. Same with Peaky Blinders. And I'm like, oh man, I should have a scotch today. Right. But again, it's like that discipline. If you can get to a month, you're going to be a completely different person, in my perspective anyways. If you can stick to a month of working out, strong, good diet, meditation, reading your books, doing the whole works, you're going to be way ahead of where you were. And again, how do you feel? How does your body feel? How does your knees feel? How does your midsection feel now losing 54 pounds?
I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier, and like, there's part of my programming that's like, I don't feel any different, but that's like the limiting belief, like telling myself like, you don't feel any different, you're gonna keep going. But then the other side of me is like pick up 50 pounds and just like, fuck it, it's not on my body anymore. Like, it's gone. And so it's like, running's been easier. Just waking up in the morning, it's like I'm getting up at 5:45 and like just about like my alarm clock goes off, and it's almost the Abraham Hicks thing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And or that's not Abraham. What's her fucking name? Anyways, yeah, Mel Robbins, just getting out of bed. And it's like, I'm so programmed now. I get out, I get dressed, I put my clothes on, and I'm outside, and I'm like, holy fuck, I've been awake for like 15 minutes and I'm outside walking already. Before I even think about what I have to do, it's just, I turned it into a habit. And I'm probably going to keep walking in the morning because it's so nice. I go out, and the first 10 minutes or so is just affirmations and speaking to myself and listening to the morning audio. Then after that, I turn on, whether it's a podcast or a YouTube video, and just listen to that for like 30, 40 minutes to fill my mind up before I even start my day. And then I come home and stretch for 20 minutes and then wake my daughter up and get her breakfast. So it's like, by the time I even associate or talk with anybody else, I've already walked over 2 miles, put a half hour, 45 minutes of value into me, stretched my body out. And I love it. I should have done this a long time ago, but it's all good.
Yeah. If we could play the coulda, shoulda, woulda game, we'd all be hitting the rewind button, I think, more than once. So
everything happens at the right time.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what? Now, again, this is a little off topic, but if I don't mention it now, I'm going to forget. So this book is called Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Looks like Dustin went out and bought it himself too.
No, I've had it, but I started reading it like, I don't know, I got it for Christmas last year. My mom bought it. It was on my list. And I read like the first 10 pages. I was like, this is way fucking beyond where I'm at right now. And now you're reading. I'm like, yeah, I got to get into this now. Maybe it's the right time.
Yeah. Now, I'm not a very stoic person, unless you guys haven't noticed, right? Like, I'm very animated. I like getting jacked up. Yeah. Rich, I like it. You know, but I love the centeredness, the humanity in it. And like, it's what we all want to become at some point in time. Like, it's literally like, you know, the ideal sort of mindset, not really being this way or that way. But everyone always says everything happens for a reason, right? Like, how many times do you hear that? Everything happens for a reason. And you're like, man, I just lost my job and my girlfriend cheated on me and my car got broken into. Like, this shit didn't happen for a reason, right? Like, there's a little bit of like, I don't know, resistance, I guess, to that term. Now, inside of the book, and I don't know if you got there yet, there is a term it's written out, amor, A-M-O-R, fati, F-A-T-I, amor fati, which basically means love your fate. So it's not everything happens for a reason, but if you come into the mindset of everything that happens to you find a positive aspect of it. So your car getting broken into doesn't happen for a reason, but it could be like, oh, something, you know, is reminding me to lock my damn doors or not park here or whatever the case is. So to always find the positive of it. So on my mirror, I have professional equals profit, amor fati, I'm my own hero, and then get after it, which is obviously Goggins style, right? So again, if you really want to test your might, grab yourself this book because it'll push your limits just a touch. All right. You guys want to get into some stuff here? Again, this is a little deep. So if you leave with anything, I'm happy. And again, this is just me wanting to learn it and wanting to make something of this because it's very important. I've been through, and I'm sure everyone here can agree, you've been through some stuff that's hurt you. It makes you feel bad. You're trying to avoid it. You hate that part of yourself. Everyone has, if there's one thing that you could remove or change in your life, what would you do? Or, you know, what would you remove? Every one of us has it. We've all done dumb stuff, right? So before I get into it, is anybody here read or listened to anything on Carl Jung? Okay, so Carl Jung, new book, love the smell. He was, what was he? Phenomenologist, a different type of psychology. And basically he was big into archetypes. So an archetype is, you know, the loving mother, or, you know, the protective father, or the growing infant, or the shadow, or, you know, there's a lot of different sort of archetypes. And one of the main things that we're going to go over here in a sec is going to be shadow work. And basically with shadow work is all that stuff that you don't want anyone to know about you. We all got that tucked away somewhere. No one's going to know. Fucking your life. You think your life would be over if people knew your deep, dark secrets, right? But that ain't healthy. So give me a sec here to get my Canva up. Shout out to me for figuring out how to do Canva without blowing my brains out. Because if anyone's ever done Canva stuff before, it ain't the easiest thing in the world to do. Oh, where'd my guys go? What's that, guys? There's a trick to doing this. I have to minimize it or share my screen, then minimize. There we go. Okay, so this is, let me go to this. There we go. So this is a book review on Being a Man, Shame, Courage, and Heroism. And right now I am up to part 3, chapter 13. And it's about this far through the book. Now, again, this might resonate with you. It might be super over your head. You might not feel anything, but again, this is just some stuff that I thought we would bring up. So what is being a man? Now, for most of us, you know, we grow up and there are, well, for instance, I got a 4-foot Leonardo in my office. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, why the hell do I have a 4-foot Ninja Turtle in my office? You know what I mean? Like, this is not a normal thing for people to have 4-foot Ninja Turtles in their office. But I was like, what is it about it that really connects with me? Like, and you look at this, like, let me grab one of these guys, right? Like, look, you look at Shredder, Dustin. This is the ideal what you're looking at, right? Getting dice as fuck. Tarzan, G.I. Joe, Superman, Batman, all of these sort of figures growing up, they're strong, they're in control. They got that stoic attitude towards emotion. You try to, you know, it's the tough guy. And when you're between the ages of like 3 and 7 years old, these are the years of your programming, the majority of us of our programming. So from a very young age, we're taught by our culture that we live in order to be a man, you must be tough on the outside and the inside. This is not the way to connect with people, obviously, right? So again, the majority of what we're doing inside of this business is connecting with people. When we were on Mark Lack's Zoom, he said, people will follow you for your achievements and they'll buy off of you because of your struggles, which basically mean people need to see that you are just like them in some way, shape, or form. And again, if we want to connect with people, you got to have that emotion. And again, everyone who knows me, you've read my story. I have no problem telling you the shit that goes wrong in my life. No problem telling you my faults and when I'm wrong. And I'm wrong a lot, more than I like to be. But again, It's like at the end of the day, we need to be, I'm just going to move this over here so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. We get into the way, or what gets into the way of us becoming the best versions of ourselves and growing as a person, right? Shame. Shame. Ooh, such a dirty word. Hey, shame. You know, as soon as I heard shame, I was like, in my head, I'm like, fuck, like the first chapter, shame. And I was like, fuck, here we go, right? Because again, we all got that closet and all of our stuff in there that we don't want anyone to know. Shame is the most hidden and misunderstood of all human emotions and stops most men in their tracks. It's the painful, self-conscious sense of our own behavior or of ourself or being exposed as defective. This is the number one reason why 99% of our people do not even try to change their life. This line here, being exposed as defective. What if I don't get it? What if it doesn't work? What if I look like a fool? What if I quit? What if? It's this that is that roadblock of every single guy for the most part, because we are supposed to be the big tough guys who know everything and, you know, we're badasses and we don't need any help and all this sort of stuff. And for the most of the time, it's complete BS. And again, this shuts you down from moving forward and getting into that vulnerable stage. Okay. So there is some different types of shame. There's a healthy shame and there's an unhealthy shame. So a healthy shame will activate your conscious and capacity for remorse. But most shame is toxic, and we're going to go over the differences in a sec. So to understand shame, it's important to stay present with it so it doesn't morph into aggression, okay, or emotional withdrawal. Now, much of aggression and relational disconnection is simply an unskilled solution to shame or trying to avoid it. And this usually turns into sarcasm as a defense mechanism. Shout out real quick. Who here works in oil field or construction, right? This here, sarcasm. Holy shit. Is that an understatement? How much sarcasm do you see on, you know, on the construction site? Tons. It is trying to, it's trying to mask the shame that people feel. Aggression or frustration turns into aggression. Aggression turns into sarcasm. When I read this line, I was like, oh my God, if that isn't the truest thing I've ever heard, right? Again, I was that guy. I was sarcastic as hell all the time. In case you guys didn't notice. Wait, is that sarcasm? Shit. But you get it? You know what I mean? Okay. So we don't want to remove shame, but we want to develop an intimacy with it. Vulnerability equals vitality and connection. Again, people will come towards you because of your achievements, but they're going to connect with you on your struggle. If I didn't go to the oil patch, spend all my money, my life savings that I saved for 10 years to go to a job that I thought was 100% fucking done deal, millionaire, gonna have it made, not a shout of doubt in my life. If I didn't have that story, I would not be able to connect with the majority of you guys on the level I connect with. My downfall was the reason why a lot of people connected with me. It goes, wow, if this guy can hit rock bottom and go up, maybe I can too. So without vulnerability, there's no connection. And it doesn't mean you need to drop your guard, but you have to realize what emotions are happening and how you feel about them. This is that inner awareness that we're always talking about. This is Abraham Hicks talking about your vibration. If you don't understand what emotions are coming in and you're quick to shut them down right away or make a joke or whatever the case is, and you don't embody the emotion, then your radar is going off and you're not even paying attention to the gauge. You know what I mean? There's like, who drives down the road, looks at their gas gauge and doesn't get gas? You know what I mean? That's basically what we're doing. So again, the vulnerability is not necessarily going to hurt you. In fact, it's going to blow your world up and make you a much more likable person. Again, empathy. To resonate with what another is feeling. It cuts through isolation and makes compassion possible to yourself and others. One of my strongest suits, one of the things I love about myself and one of the things that sucks about myself is I'm a very empathetic person. You know, I'm the type of person, I'll watch a you know, one of those Sarah McLaughlin videos of those dogs, and I fucking fall apart. I can't handle that stuff. If I see somebody win really, really big, you know, you see these, you know, hero stories of someone who, you know, breaks it and, or, you know, is broken and whatever, and then he makes it and he wins and his whole family comes out. Like, I'm feeling it now. I feel it in my eyes, feel it in my heart, feel it in my chest. I feel it. I feel other people's emotions. This is why I got into sales, because I can level with people. I can get on someone's vibe. I can put myself literally in their shoes and look at the world from the perspective of their eyes, which what makes me such a successful salesperson and in the position of man I'm in right now. Vulnerability and empathy will make you a millionaire in my perspective. If you can nail this down, you're way ahead. So the goal is to uncover your shame and to learn to understand it without distractions. So this is an enormous step in the evolution of becoming a man and getting into your true power. Again, your shame is shutting you down. It is not letting you get to where you want to be. Typo. Boo. So fear to distinguish between, maybe that wasn't supposed to be there. But the thing between pain and suffering is pain. It happens. It's inevitable. You're not going to get around it. It's the thing that happens to you in the time. Suffering is what you do with the pain. So if you wake up every day and go, fuck, why is my business not getting off the ground? Why do I not do the things I need to do? Why is this not working? Why am I slacking? Why am I not doing the thing? Just do the thing. Suffering is so fucking dumb. It's such a useless waste of time. And what I've started to come to terms with is if I have a pain point that I am suffering from, I'm going to find professional help. I'm not trying to figure this shit out on my own anymore. It's a lot easier to find someone that can help you solve your problem than you trying to figure all this stuff out on your own. Perfect example is building a new system, building a new brand, getting someone to make my ads, getting someone to post my ads, getting a VA to do all the stuff I don't want to do so I can focus on doing closing calls for you guys. In 2021, I will be the closing call guy. That is what I'll be doing. Okay, so again, I've been suffering for the last year and a half because I've been trying to figure out all this stuff and wear all the hats. Find someone who knows how to help you. I'm telling you, it'll save your life. And what do? We dramatize it. We lose control. Exactly what Dustin was saying. Oh, it's only 50 pounds. Oh, but am I still the person I am? It's like, listen, you let this thing wear all off, it'll suck your energy dry. And to end suffering, you have to enter the pain. You have to face the dragon. This is what Jordan Peterson talks about in basically all of his lectures in Maps of Meaning and his personality lectures. The trick is having compassion for the version of yourself that's doing this today, and to subconsciously be holding that frightened version of yourself, that frightened boy that's stuck in the shadow that doesn't want, that's the version of yourself you don't want anyone to see. Care for that person. You are not that person anymore. You're not 10 years old anymore. You're not 15, 20, maybe shit happened to you 2-3 years ago like it happened to me. I am not the same person that got fucked 3 years ago as I am today. And I'm nurturing myself from the point I am right now. So distinguish a thought from a feeling. I thought this was pretty powerful, right? Because sometimes what we're feeling is actually a thought. And this is funny because like, I think of Laura, right? When we're talking back and forth, I feel like, or, I feel that. And it's like, is that actually what I'm feeling? Or is that what I'm thinking, hoping she's going to understand me on my level? So again, what is it actually a true feeling? Or is it a thought that you want to express as a feeling, which are two totally different things, and being aware of which one is super important. Well, much of your past may be present in the form of a reactive automatic behavior that were shaped long ago. Cue Dustin, exactly what he said before. If you get up and brush your teeth every day for 30 years, try to get up and not brush your teeth anymore, right? We have these automatic reactive things. If someone criticizes you, if someone questions your competency, these are, oh, you don't know me and fuck you and This happens a lot on our ads. a reactive, automatic lashing out at somebody to try to protect some version of ourselves that we don't want to be vulnerable. And again, I am just as bad as anybody that I know about this. And I have completely detached my emotion from it because I like to be a little bit more present, feel the emotion, feel what I think I'm feeling. And then if I want to lay it on the guy, fuck, I'll lay it on the guy. But think about it beforehand. Okay. A crucial part of knowing where you're from is essential for knowing where you're going. This is pretty self-explanatory, right? Again, if you're not leveling with yourself and you know what you need to work on, it's very hard to make those changes. Name your past if and when it's present. Say out loud, this is my shame popping up right now. Hey, that's that little bitch version of me popping up right now, telling me not to get out of bed, not to write that ad, not to do that go live. You know what I mean? That's me thinking I'm not good enough. You know, look at all these influencers. Look at all of these Instagram people. They got hundreds of thousands of followers. Who am I to think I'm good enough to compete with these people? Don't let that sort of hurt, shameful little version of yourself from way back tell you that you're not good enough. Because the thing is there's there's three steps to producing a piece of content. Learn the content, learn a skill, use a skill, teach a skill. Once you've completed those three, you're qualified, man. Don't let anyone tell you you're not qualified. Just a little tip. An emotional numbness is a learned behavior. This is a survival strategy from early inner years of trauma. If you've been bullied before, you know, hashtag fucking underline, bold, italic, whatever. Emotional numbness is learned behavior. And this is generally from what's happened to us in the past. Not getting picked for the team, getting dumped by a girl, not getting the job, not being good enough. And again, I fit this big time. And again, it's a work in progress. So central to shame is a felt sense of public condemnation, even if your audience is your own inner critic. Again, another line. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I read this book, I'm like, holy shit, like all this stuff's so good. This is devastating. This crushes people. No one wants to be seen as a loser. No one wants to be seen as less than or not a man or whatever the case is. What if you get into this business, you start and you end up failing? And what if you don't make any money for your first 6 months? What if you can't afford your Ukon in 4 months? What if? Generally, 99% of the time, this is us speaking to ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, how many times do you go out and you hey, man, you know, we've been friends for a while. If I start this business and I don't do well, are you going to think I'm a loser? Never happens. You never do that. But for some reason, we go inside of our own minds all the time. Hey, you're never going to be good enough. You can't do this. It's too hard. Why are you even going to try? We're just going to be back in our comfort zone anyways. You're not going to do that. You're not going to. It's our inner critic. It's that shadow part of ourselves. Shame shrinks us away from ourselves and our power, another typo, which runs counter to what we want as men, to establish our ground and assert our competency. If you knew how to be an online marketer and you knew how to market an Agic and be a 682-3 by now, you would have done it way long ago. You need to learn. Everyone starts at zero. So your lack of competency should not hold you back. In fact, it should encourage you to move forward and motivate you to learn faster. The faster you learn and the more you got going on in your life, the more books you're reading, the more runs you do, the more meditations you have, the better meals you eat, all of this sort of good stuff, the good things happening into your life will keep you moving forward. It's when you stop. It's when you shut your ads off. It's when you skip that go live or you don't show up to the meeting. That's when things start to slow down. And again, your inner critic starts piping up again. You miss a day. If Dustin misses a day, inner critic goes, fuck, you missed a day. You're going to miss another one. Or the opposite's going to happen and he's going to go, there's no fucking way that I'm missing another day. And at this point right now, I think it would be the latter. Unexplored shame blocks the way to vulnerability, empathy, and closeness. Again, basically what we said before. The dragon's hiding in the shadows, and if you don't face that dragon, he's going to grow and grow and grow, and eventually he's going to tear your head off, and you're going to be so weak that you're not going to be able to do anything about it. So now let's look at some signs to see if some shame is present. Okay. Shame is present. So move my little thingy here. There we go. Okay. So increased heat in your face, losing poise, difficult to think, and brain fog sets in. It's funny, man, because like, fuck, that happens all the time. You know, you do like funny. I'm doing the webinar, the new webinar that we did, and I thought I was going to do the walkthrough of our allied forces first before I did the ad, because that's how I did it the time before. So as I'm working through, I'm like, all right, so I'm going to jump into a live demo, and I get into the demo, and then it pops up. I'm like, oh man, I was supposed to walk through the whatever. And I felt my face heat up. And I was like, holy shit, it's crazy. Cause I just finished this. But again, like your mind, your hypothalamus, yeah, is the thing, your fight or flight. So when something happens and you lose face or whatever the case is, or if you think you're off course, that flushing of the red, that's a sign of like, yo, man, tread softly here. Luckily, it ended up working out the way I wanted to. But again, I thought that was pretty cool. Avoiding eye contact or a habit of always looking down. This is why we do Zoom meetings. I like to look at you guys. I like to see, you know, are you paying attention? You're not paying attention. You know, is the eye contact again? Well, I mean, how many times one look of your mom looking at you one way, or your crush looking at you one way, all of a sudden, boom, right? It connects with you. If you don't want to connect, you're not willing to be vulnerable, you're going to avoid eye contact at all costs. Someone or thing questions your competency and we withdraw or get aggressive. Ads. Fucking scam. Oh, look at this guy fucking jacked on steroids or whatever bullshit I get. Delete. It's all good, man. You need some love. I'll send you a hug, send you a heart. It's all good. You need the love more than I do. Right? Again, I would get aggressive. I would get pissed off because you're judging who I think I'm supposed to be. Because the fuck what people think you're supposed to be. If you know who you are, you've gone through your shadow, you've connected with the shame, you've worked through your limiting beliefs, you're coddling that boy version of yourself, this stuff won't hurt you anymore. It's when you tuck it away and you avoid it that all of this stuff starts to come up. We get defensive when there's no attack present. Kind of like the comments on the ads, to be honest with you. I mean, there's really no attack there. Some hater hating on you. Delete it, move on with life. Excessive pride. I thought this was kind of cool because I know a lot of people growing up, because I was kind of in a meathead group of friends. There was excessive pride like you would not believe. And it's trying to compensate for the fact that you don't deep down really believe that you're strong enough, you're brave enough that you can face challenges and have that sort of stoic attitude. And again, the excessive pride generally goes into sarcasm. It's like this, hand in hand. And anyone who's been on a construction site knows about that. And beating yourself up over and over and over again. Again, suffering. If you're suffering, find a way to get out of that by reaching out to someone who can help move you through the process, or read a book, or write a journal, or talk to your wife or spouse or something. But again, if you over days and days and days are suffering from the same sort of pain, reach out to someone and try to get that off your chest, or at least see it from a different perspective.
Can I touch on something before you switch pages?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Touching on the someone or thing that questions you and you withdraw, that hit me because when I first started this 75 hard and I was going out for my walks and my runs and doing my 10-mile bike rides, I was avoiding doing it in town, and I was going out to the dirt road so that people didn't see me, because everybody that I met the first year that I lived here, they met me of who I was. And my whole thought, my limiting belief in my mind is, I'm not the person that I'm trying to become. I'm not in shape. So why should I be running? But the more I've done it, the more confident I've got with myself. And now I run up and down the main streets. I don't care who's outside. I wave to people they drive by. And I hear through the grapevines, everyone's like, he's so fucking committed. I wish I had that energy. I wish I had that drive. He's doing great. It's like we have this limiting belief that people are going to go, he thinks he's better than me, or he thinks he's so good. When really people look at us and they go, I wish I could do what he's doing. And just the only hope we can have is that over time, those people are going to go, well, fuck, he's done it. I can do it. So the longer you do it, the more confident you get with yourself, and then the easier it gets.
100%, man. It won't be long. You'll be running with your shirt off. Just running down 6-pack abs, sweating like a beast, just super vascular, fucking running like a, yeah, what's up, guys? Magic. Hit me up. See you later, right? It'll happen. But yeah, man. And this is a lot of the reason why most people won't get on a Go Live. Like, well, what if? It's like, well, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, the person that's questioning you has their own issues. If they're questioning you, then deep down inside, they got to go through all this shadow work themselves. So,
if anybody's hesitating doing Go Lives, go out and go for a run, and then when you get back, get on a Go Live. Your fucking brain's moving too fast. You don't even care what people think.
Yep, push-ups help too.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. Well, for guys, anyways, nothing beats a chest pump. So, right? Fucking love it. All right. Okay, so healthy shame. Healthy shame is pointed at an action critical of a situation. Healthy shame triggers our conscience, opens our heart to humility and passion. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay. Unhealthy shame is pointed at the doer. This is degrading or devaluing yourself as a person. Triggers your inner critic, closes the heart, and is humiliating and mean. When I saw that difference, I was like, holy shit, is that ever the truth? How many times do you get mad and you go inwards and you start blaming yourself? You start doing all this sort of stuff. And again, pointing at an action. Okay, I did this thing, but I don't need to carry the weight of it around. This is something that I did, but it is not me. And having an existential version of it, seeing it outside of yourself, to me was like kind of an eye opener. It really dropped a lot of weight of the things that I've been carrying around. Again, that little boy version of yourself, that's going to hold on to you as the doer, and it will not let you down. It'll be constantly chirping at you, it'll be pulling you down. But again, it's the situation that we want to be looking at. Create healthy shame, not unhealthy. The more self-esteem is connected to competency, the more debilitating shame is. Again, you're 30 years old, you've been making $100,000 a year, you got a wife and kids at home, you got a big diesel truck, you're the big boss man or whatever. Now you got to start brand new. You got to admit that you need help. You got to start learning a new skill. Well, if I don't learn this shit tomorrow, then fuck it. Is generally the attitude. And it's crazy. It's like, when did you wake up next day and know something that you didn't know the day before? This ain't the fucking Matrix. You don't just download things into your mind. It's the process. But men's self-esteem is so around who they are and what they can do. So if you want to try something different, you're supposed to, I'll only do it if I already know how to do it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? It's crucial to understand shame and the history of it, feeling defective, incompetent, or less than a man. That's like the key to this whole entire thing, in my opinion. Okay. Get my little guys here a little smaller. There we go. So stop rejecting the hurt boy. The key to dealing with shame, in order to heal, you need to stop rejecting the hurt boy inside yourself and turn towards the younger version of yourself with care. Kind of what we've been talking about. Pressure to perform can easily generate shame. You watch Blaz make $100,000 a month on autopilot. You know, I'm 6A2s and 6As, and Adam and Rachel blow up their business. And, you know, this guy makes 10 grand and this guy makes 20 grand and Brody makes 50 grand in 6 months. There is so much pressure for you to hit your goals financially, which is basically what a lot of us compare ourselves to. You know, you look at your neighbor, how much does he make? What does he drive? You know, what vacations does he go on? But it's never, what books is he reading? What are his long-term goals? What are the things that he's gotten over? You know, this is a lot of the problem is it's always financial. It's always material. But again, performance is not necessarily just what you're buying and what you're getting. It's who you're becoming. And again, Dustin running down the road, dropping 50 pounds, reading books, doing all this stuff, learning to be a leader. He's performing. And I was talking to, I think it was Jordan yesterday. And Jordan was like, yeah, you know, I'm running some ads, but, you know, I kind of cut back a little bit. I want to do some more warm market stuff. And I was like, listen, man, you running ads doesn't make you successful or unsuccessful. You being successful makes you successful or not. And I use Dustin as an example. I'm like, this guy's running 5 miles a fucking day. He's crushing. He's reading books. He's priming. He's in the laboratory right now, building the beast to let him go. And I guarantee you, mark my words, Dustin's business is going to blow up when he starts getting back into it and really pushing the production. So again, losing face in public or failure to meet expectations generates shame. But if you're constantly working on yourself in the background, there's never anything to be shameful about. And this is why I have a rack full of books, because I didn't know what the fuck to do when I got online. I was scared to death. My shame of failure of meeting expectations, or where the hell is it? This one here, my self-esteem. I was the best sales guy. I didn't know dick shit about running ads. So for a long time, this shame, unhealthy shame, was because of my competency in ads, and I didn't know how to do it. Obviously, I've learned a little bit, but again, shame is in the mind, or shame in the mind is a drill sergeant. Hashtag Jonko Willings. And is the inner critic. This is central to our aggression and heartless negative self-appraisal. Get familiar with your history of your own inner critic back to your early years. Learn to recognize his voice. Name your inner critic. Practice relating to your inner critic, not as a helpless child, but in the way that honors you. So again, learn to recognize and name it. Joe Rogan calls it his inner bitch. So every time that thing comes up, man, you shouldn't do that. Skip one day. What's the point of doing a video? No one's going to watch it. What's the point of doing a team meeting? No one's going to watch it. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point? Shut that fucker up. It ain't helping you, man. And again, find a way to honor yourself as the person you are today, the decision maker you are today, in the now, right this second. Shout out to Eckhart Tolle, The Power Now. If you haven't read that book, go read that book. Okay, so knowing your shadow. This is all going to start coming together here. Where did I put this thing? Knowing your shadow. Bringing your shadow out of the dark. What are you disconnected from? Okay, so again, this is more in an emotional sense. What are you denying, pushing away, or disowning? The big one that I focused on myself personally is the denying. The pushing away and the disowning, I kind of know what I'm doing, but the denying part, that's a lie to yourself, that if you tell yourself that long enough, you're going to start believing that it has a little merit. So I've been very open with myself on like, what are the things that I'm lying to myself about straight up that I can categorize and work on. Doesn't mean I got to fix it today, but I got to know, like, what are the things that keep coming up all the time that I know are true, that I'm trying to push away, or that I'm trying to disown? What are you projecting onto others? One of the reasons why I got so pissed off at people for not doing their business is because I'm so scared to fail myself. I'm so scared to give up. This has been lifelong thing for me. I'm terrified to be poor. I'm terrified to be the same person as I was 10 years ago. I'm terrified that I will grow up and I won't be all I could be. Just like David Goggins, you show up to the gates of heaven. God opens up his book and goes, well, you could have been a fighter pilot. You should have been 200 pounds and diced. You should have had a loving family. You should have been a multimillionaire, but you fucked off and you didn't do anything with your life. That to me is the scariest thing. And I always have this, this mental image on my head, driving an old Nissan Tercel piece of shit with my lunch kit on my seat, you know, a little full four banger piece of crap, you know, maybe 1992 Civic or something like that, covered in dirt, fat, out of shape, just not who I want to be, making 20 grand a year, 30 grand a year, my entire life, and never pushing forward, never getting outside my comfort zone. The reason I'm so hard on people sometimes is because I don't want you to quit. I don't want you to not live up to the potential that I know you have inside. And I project that onto other people. And Amanda has called me out on it a couple of times. They're like, oh, some people will respond to that, but some people don't. And this is something that I'm working on because I want to be the love and the motivation for you. And I got to realize that just because other people in my business may quit or not make it does not mean that I'm going to quit or not make it. Your shadow dominates you if you're not aware of it and how it affects you. It occupies what we can't or won't face ourselves. Denying your shadow is a part of your shadow. A lot of the things that I was denying and not willing to face myself were the technical aspects of this business. And for a long time, I couldn't help other people do the technical sides of the business. So going out and finding someone to build our funnel, getting Mark Lack to do my branding, using a Facebook ads guy to do my ads will help me learn these skills so I can help you guys learn these skills. But for myself, denying and pushing that part of my business away was living in the shadow, which of course got me zero nowhere. You know what I mean? So again, I'm working through this stuff. And I think that's obviously why I'm doing this presentation, because I want to get this out, man. I want to really, really, really dive into this part of the business because I know what it's like to finally face that dragon like I did in the oil field. I knew sitting, looking at the styrofoam ceiling up in Fort McMurray, I knew that the time was coming that fucking dragon and we were going to duke it out. It was coming, man. It was the decision I made. And when I told Pete, the guy that got me into the business, when I was like, all right, man, I'm in, I knew that was facing the dragon. When I quit my job at Harley for the second time, when I knew that this was do or die, this was flight or crash, Duke's up with the dragon. And I love it, man. It's exciting. Without challenge, without risk, there's no growth, right? So your shadow includes your shame, your vulnerability, your violent thoughts or feelings, and your appetite for porn. I was like, really? That fucking sucks. But whatever. But again, your shame, your vulnerability, your violent thoughts or feelings. I have love heals on my arm. And the reason I have love heals on my arm is because I had a lot of violent thoughts and I did a lot of bad things to a lot of good people. And I realized that going into that weak, boyish, just whatever shadow version of me, and facing those sort of demons and realizing that I could be more if I just was able to get outside my comfort zone, was the reason that I developed into the person I was today. It's because I gave myself love. You know what I mean? The love heals means kept. If I'm having an issue, love myself, give myself the love that I want other people to give me, and I'll be in a much better situation. Okay, so what I at least want people to know about me, what I have a disproportionate reaction to, another typo, emotions considered negative, and what you're most scared to express in a relationship. We're all in relationships. That's something that you might want to just jot down and just start thinking about. Like, what is it in your relationship that you try to avoid the most. You know what I mean? And face that head on, because again, that's a huge part of your shadow. And right now I'm actually on the chapter, which is intimacy and relationships, which is a whole nother live. And we'll get to that when we get to that. All right. So courage, pride, and heroism, the conscious hero, brave, the ultimate performer, the one who sacrificed himself for the greater good, who perseveres no matter how daunting the task may be, which is kind of funny. Harry Potter was the first one that popped into my mind. I'm like, this little motherfucker with glasses, you know, he's a weakling little guy, and he got beat up and picked on by his, you know, cousin or whoever he was with in the first whatever, but he was brave, man. The guy always faced the demon. He always fought the dragon and or the snake in the lair or the Voldemort or whoever. He was always sacrificing himself for the better good. Courage, essential attribute to hero. The Latin cor means heart, which I thought was kind of cool. Courage. And vir, V-I-R, meant, fuck, what did it mean? It meant something about like to be a man. So virtuous. Oh fuck, I didn't write it down, so obviously not that important. But anyways, core means heart. We always say of people that succeed, they have heart. You know what I mean? And yeah. So courage is not fearless. This is the line that if any of you guys take anything away from this, it is this. Courage is not being fearless and reckless, but a deliberate moving forward towards the dragon step by conscious step. No one comes into this business and crushes it and kills the dragon right out of the gate. But this is what it takes every single day, moving towards your goal without quitting. Courage may falter or lose steam, but it never quits. Without risk, there is no courage. That was the line I was looking for. Taking embodied action, even though the knees are shaking. Taking embodied action, even though the knees are shaking. There is love implicit in courage and of our own integrity. And I think that is the last slide. Nope. Different types of courage. Physical courage, staying present when you're hurt. I had a game back in the day. It's called Punchy Facey. I know, yeah, real. It's just as dumb as it sounds. But basically, it was a test of our physical courage. Who could? Okay, so this is the game, and the guys will probably get more of a kick out of this than probably Amanda and Melinda. But basically, what the game was you're in a bar, okay, and the goal is you had to get as many girls' phone numbers in the bar without making eye contact with them. So think about that for a second. You're in the bar. You're like, hey, what's up? What's your name? Where are you from? Right? And like, if you made eye contact with her, one of your buddies, and there's like 20 of us, would come up, punch you right in the face in the middle of the bar. There's the funniest fucking thing. I'm like, not like knock you out, but enough to be like, right? And like the girls like, what the fuck is going on? Bouncers lose their mind. Like, you got to give them a little bit of a heads up. But it was a test of our physical courage. And I thought that was kind of funny because I'm like, physical courage? Like, what do you mean physical courage? And I was like, oh, wait a second. Yeah, I did that stuff before. Emotional courage, speaking free when you're afraid of possible consequences. Do your damn go live. Do your video, man. Who cares what people think about you? The people that think positively of you are going to join your business and make you money and get you out of your job. The people that hate on you are going to watch you help people make money and get out of their job. So again, for a long time, I was scared of like, again, what do people see me as right now? If I do a go live, am I going to make myself look worse than I already am or better? And the thing is it doesn't matter because 99% of the people, they're not going to watch your shit anyways. You know what I mean? It's only a select amount of people that are going to watch you. So moral courage, taking a stand in the face of strong opposition, sticking up for somebody. Perfect example, sticking up for racism, sticking up for someone. If I ever see someone hitting an animal, you are done. Say your prayers. You'll see me streaking towards you. I'll rip your fucking eyes out. It's a little aggressive, but existential courage, facing reality without clinging to meaning. Amore fati. Perfect example. Spiritual courage, awakening to your true nature. Again, we're so in tune with that. We're listening to Abraham Hicks. We're listening to the Power On movement. Everyone here is meditating. Everyone's doing that sort of stuff. And again, if you're not meditating, I know someone on this call is not meditating every day. Do it. And I know I'm looking at one of them right now. Yeah. Relational courage, sharing what you're scared to share. And again, this is with your spouse. This is really scary, man, this last one. Because again, there's a lot of things that I think people try to hold to themselves, and it's kind of scary. And just think of a time when you can remember tapping into all these different types of courage throughout your life. And again, we went from shame, shadow, now we're encouraged. Pretty sure that's the last one. Yep. And that's it all in a nutshell, guys. So I hope you learned a little something. Again, the book is called To Be a Man by Robert Augustus. And again, this is a page turner. The chapters are relatively short, so it's not something that you're going to have to sit and put 1,000 hours into. Get through a chapter a day. This is definitely one of the books that I would probably take notes on and pick the things out that you think apply to you the most. But other than that, does anybody have any questions or comments on it? Or yeah, questions, comments, suggestions?
It's right in alignment with the book that I'm reading. Can't remember the name of it. Jason might know. He's starting to do the whole thing, but the whole program, the Warrior program that Garrett White does, it's just based on being a man or a woman. I look at it as being the best human you can be in evaluating all the shit that we just ignore, and a lot of it is what you just covered for sure.
It's funny, man. Like I read, I'm reading Jocko Willink's. Another amazing leadership book is Jocko Willink. It's called Extreme Ownership.
Extreme Ownership, yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually, man, like there's a lot of things that I wanted to blame in this group on other people not using the system, not running ads, not doing this, it's my fault, man. You know what I mean? I picked the damn system. I wanted to do the flow a certain way. But again, you don't know until you try. But I'm comfortable enough being like, I'm so happy for what we went through because I know who are my ride or die. I know what works. I know what people like. And I know what people don't like. But again, I just thought it was pretty crazy. But, you know, you look at the Jocko and you look at the David Goggins and I'm like, I'm a human being. You know, he's bald like I am. You know, I see him working out in the gym. I'm like, I can push the weight he can. What's the difference? It's I got a bunch of bullshit in my way. And he doesn't. He's just a boss. And he's just goes for it. And I question myself and I overcomplicate things. And I try to paint a different picture and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, who could you be if you just went for it? You just got the hell out of your own way. Stop
lying, start leading today.
Good deal. Good deal. And the last thing, everyone here seen the webinar yet?
Yep.
What do you guys think? Okay, a little bit better?
Yeah. Hey, the thing I wanted to talk to you about the other day, I didn't want to put it in any writing.
Yeah.
To have a, you know, like a, but where did you get the Wolf on Wall Street stuff, the straight line persuasion from?
From Blage.
Okay. I didn't want like any licensing issues or like stuff like that, because that's going out to people that aren't in the group yet, you know? So you don't know. I mean, anybody can get into that. And by saying that you're giving them $4,000 program for free, I don't know if there's any licensing or legal things around that. So I just.
If I was Jordan Belfort and I was a multimillionaire pushing fucking helicopters off the back of my yacht, and there was some dude in Vancouver that was pumping my shit, I would be like, perfect. These guys are going to go buy my books. They're going to show up to my webinars. They're going to Google search me and do whatever. We already bought the damn thing. You know what I mean? So it's, I know they have a licensing, like you spend an extra amount of money and you get it for X amount of users. But again, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, sorry about that licensing. But by the way, this thing's been on Vimeo for like 7 years. So you don't sue me. You can just go in and deal with that on a different level. I think it's if we were using it for, like, corporate or something like that. Because I know Grant Cardone, and actually one of the things I was looking into was Grant Cardone's Cardone University is buying that sales training for every single person inside of our organization for our new system. Right. So whatever it is, a monthly fee, $100, $200 a month, whatever it is, everybody inside of our organization will be able to leverage his platform. So
We have a corporate version, like you said.
yeah, with all the different logins and stuff.
I have the year
I think
program.
it would be more of an issue if you were saying, like, you were reselling the program.
Yeah.
Like if it wasn't like, yeah, they might have kind of a licensing issue, but I think they would be going after you more if you were saying like, hey, I'm selling this Jordan Belfort like training. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, giving it away for free really helps us get around a lot of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, worst case scenario, you're going to get a cease and desist first before anything else happens.
Yeah, sure. We're just gonna put it in. We're just gonna put it in our Facebook group. Whatever. Yeah. The Kevin Melnick straight line persuasion. Whatever. Yeah, but I get it.
Is that the format you're going to use for like the webinar to come when you are finished the system?
You guys want to see the actual? Want to see the map? Hold on. Let me see if I can find the map real quick. This is so exciting, man. I can't believe we found a girl who's been in Enagic, bought a trifecta, gone through the processes, and now she's like, yeah, no, this will work. I think this will be better, and this will be better, and this will be better. And I was like, yeah. Okay, so just scrolling through a conversation here. Give me a sec. Adam.
Who are you talking to? Oh. Are you talking to Uncle Jamie?
Uncle Jamie?
Sometimes he stares at the picture on the wall and starts rambling, so I just figured he's talking to Jamie. I can't understand him.
All right, check this out, guys. Now, again, really, really raw, right? This is just framework. And again, super, super simple. And this doesn't include our actual training. So basically, people are going to hit our ad. Our ad is going to put them into a landing page, or what we call a squeeze page. They're going to put in their basically the squeeze page is going to have a little 2-minute video. Hey, welcome, blah, 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 blah. Click here for a PDF, blah, 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 blah. We're going to show you how to do this, that, and the other thing. Cool. We're going to have multiple different landing pages for multiple different people. So stay-at-home moms, construction workers, white collar, blue collar, that sort of thing. And we have unlimited landing pages. So if we think there is a demographic that is, like, for instance, restaurant workers, we can target restaurant demographic, have a landing page for restaurant workers and whatever. So that's kind of the thing. Next is going to go to an evergreen webinar, which is basically kind of like the webinar that I just did, but way better with like tons of B-roll and some cool shit and like really, really awesome. That's going to go to a short questionnaire. So the questionnaire, sorry?
Can I ask, so the webinar is going to be filmed and it's going to be the same always. It's not going to be live. It's okay, cool.
Yeah. Same always, and it's gonna be balling. We're putting some cash into this. Like, we're getting a videographer, Adam, Rachel, and I, and anybody that can make it in Vancouver. We're gonna rent a big mansion on Cowichan Lake. We're gonna do our filming there. We're gonna have a campfire on the beach, and like, show the unity of the team and some cool shit like that. So that's gonna be really high-end webinar. I don't care what I got to pay for it. I don't care if I have to pay 10 grand for a webinar. We're going to have a webinar that knocks your damn socks off. The next is going to go to a questionnaire. The questionnaire is going to be, you know, how long you've been thinking about a business, who are you doing this for other than yourself, what's your monthly income currently, what's your monthly goal income, how much can you put into your business, are you more of a people person or more analytical, and finding out whether these people are qualified to move into a sales call or if they need to get budgeted. This is going to save so much time for dealing with people that don't have money or not willing to get the money. You know what I mean? Again, how many broke people tell you this is a scam or don't answer you back? And you're like, fuck, like maybe it's me, maybe it's my ad. It's like, no, it's the wrong damn people. You shouldn't even be talking to those people in the first place. So the questionnaire is really going to help us out. If they are qualified, they're going to go into a Calendly to book a call. After they've booked a call, then they're going to see the offer. We will be talking about the offer inside of the webinar. So as you go through this, blah, 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 you're going to get set up on a questionnaire. And depending on the questionnaire, you're going to see our main core offer after you've booked a call or whatever the case is. It's going to go to book a call.
Who do they book a call with?
It'll be myself or any of our leaders 5A and above.
Oh, so you guys are doing the calls.
Hell yeah. If I sat in my office all day long and I did 8 calls a day, oh my God, I'd cry right now. I'm so happy. That's all I want to do is coaching calls. That's it. I don't want to do a fucking other thing. I don't. Sorry?
Let's say it's almost going to be set up like Ace was when you come in. You're going to watch a video in the beginning, then you'll get on a coaching call with just not the person that sent you to there in the beginning.
Yeah. It's going to be either myself, Adam, Rachel, possibly Jason, whoever else wants to do it, who's qualified 5A and above. But yeah, if I have 10 coaching calls booked a day and I do that for a year and I don't see daylight, I'm good. I'm good. So it's basically depending. But again, we need 5As. 5As. Up, rank up. I need you a 5A. If they are not qualified and they don't have any money, then they're going to get another congrats. They're going to go straight to an Enagic presentation that'll most likely be done by Adam and Rachel, which will then send them over to a money management and budgeting course. Once they've completed that, we're going to put them on to either getting in-house financing or whatever the case is, then another sales call. If the person goes and sees the Enagic and they don't want an Enagic, but they got Jason's lawn care business and they want to learn how to write ads, then we're going to have a one-time purchase of whatever, $400, $500, $10,000. We haven't really figured out the price yet of just how to market and build a social media brand, which is, it's so funny because I'm like, okay, we got to charge some money for this. Inside, I'm like, it's like 4 fucking buttons. I'm like, we're going to be charging people for 4 buttons that have been sitting on the top of your damn page the whole time. But hey, you don't know what you don't know. So one-time fee, 30% affiliate commission. So again, we might make it $479, and then you get kicked back $150 one-time sale. The guy comes in, say la vie, have fun, build your business, bro. And then after the sales call, the guy wants to buy in. They'll go into Enagic, and then a $49 a month. And our new team is called Legacy Builders, and our new funnel will be called the Digital Gold Rush. Rad. And we're gonna have VAs doing all the admin stuff. We're going to have all of our landing pages there. You're going to be able to track all of your leads and all of your conversion, who's gone through what and how many calls you have and all of that sort of stuff, which is, I know, one of the reasons why a lot of people are struggling in the system we have now. And I don't blame you, man. I really don't. I don't blame you. But again, we went down this road. We're trying something different. And we're also bringing all of the groups back together. So again, Jason, myself, Adam, and Rachel, anybody who has a team, we're coming back. We're unifying our group together. We're changing our logos. We're changing our brands. I'm getting my personal brand done. We have Hannah building our system and doing our branding and our logos for the system. It's going to be done. And the beautiful thing about this is our team is already here. We just got to turn the tap on. And again, I'm telling you, I'm 35 years old. I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm putting my money into it. I'm going broke, making this happen for you guys. I want us to be a place where you come build your legacy, learn how to invest your money, and blow your business up 6-7 figures within 2 to 5 years. And I'm dead set on making that happen. I want my castle, right? So yeah, you guys have any questions on that one?
So you'll be able to see how many people go to a phone call with you, correct? From your people.
Yep. Everything will be tracked. How many people hit your landing page, what your conversions are, how many leads you have in the funnel, how many people have booked calls, how many people have been on a call. There's
after the Najit video, then the next coaching call, that'll be with you, for instance, too, right? Or for whoever.
Yeah.
So technically, you put somebody there, they run through everything. You don't touch them, and if they buy, you get a damn check.
Yep. Yeah. The thing is if we want to expedite the buying process,
right?
And if someone's not ready, that's cool. We'll put you on in a group or something. We'll maybe stay on my page. I don't know, but we got to start shooting for the qualified people. There are people that go out and they buy like this, and we're dealing with people that take fucking light years to pull the trigger. It's like the reason why we're not getting the duplication is we're trying to turn shit to gold instead of finding the gold. And this was a bit of an awakening. Mark was the guy that, I sat down with him and we're going through the system. He's like, bro, he's like, you're trying to help these people that don't even want to help themselves. You're trying to drag 4 years of this stuff into a new system. He's like, I'm looking at this from the outside. If you want a guy like me or Balaji to come in and buy, they don't need all the bullshit 6A this and A2, A3, blah, blah, blah. I just want to know, what can I make? What's the potential? How does it work? Get me on a call. And then you build the relationship, and then you get that guy to buy. And all of the stuff comes after that. All of the value comes after that. And if they're not willing to do it, then they're not our target market. We're moving on. And that's how we're going to build massive, massive organizations. That's how every single one of these ACE, GAZ, AI, Freedom Era, fucking CEO movement, breakaway movement, they all do the same thing. So we're going to the way that works, but we're doing it differently because we're not charging up front to see our offer. And we are opening ourselves up a little bit more to the coaching and community without having to nail you with the $99 up front with a refundable whatever. We lose so many people at that point, right?
Are we doing the paperwork, or is that you? Or if they're on that sales call and they're like, yeah, awesome, man, let's do it.
Perfect. Awesome. I'm going to set you up with my assistant, Angela. She's going to take all your credentials down. You'll do paperwork with her, and we'll see you on next week's team meeting, or we'll see you on your next one-on-one. But we're going to have people doing the stuff we don't want to do. Like if we got to pay a girl, $1,000 or $1,500 a month to sit there all day long and do paperwork and put people into the training and out of the training and add them and tag them on videos and do all that sort of stuff. It's out of our hands. We're going to make it so you can post an ad. Someone can go through, bang, 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 bang. And by the time you wake up the next day, there's a coaching call booked. And you wake up going, holy shit, I might get a sale today. Instead of going, oh, I wonder if this guy is going to message me back. Or what do I say on my mini chat? Or, oh, man. So, again, we're expediting the system. And it's going to work.
It's all tracked through affiliate links, I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we can track our people and do reporting and stuff.
Yeah. So Kajabi basically looked at like all these other different platforms and they're like, okay, Lead Pages, Thinkific, Bitrix CRM. And that's another thing. It has a CRM in it as well. Everything is combined. It is exactly what we need, which is great. And I found a lady in GAZ, knows what to do, super valuable, understands our flow, understands our product. I'm so fucking excited about it, guys. Like literally, I was at my accounting today. I'm like, I'm going to have $100,000 months in 2021. No doubt in my mind. It's just going to be feed the funnel. And I don't care whether you do it with paid ads or you do it warm market. We're also going to be doing a warm market training next Wednesday for everybody, going into groups, going into your old high school Facebook page, connecting with people that you knew, finding friends of friends, coming up with a bit of a script, and then having a follow-up method. Because again, on some other platforms, they're strictly doing warm market right out of the gate. So what I would like to do is a 3 a.m. 30 days blast. Someone comes in, expedited through the system, you get your stuff, 3 a.m. 30 days in your warm market, and then take whatever out of your warm market profits and then start investing that in ads and then start leveraging the platform.
So I guess
A lot of the trainings can be gone.
Every fucking thing I'm redoing, bro.
No, I'm talking about a lot of what all they have to set up, like what everybody here had to set up.
All
that
the
shit.
tech's gone. Yeah. I don't blame you. You come in, what did I say in the presentation? The reason that I was so hesitant is because I didn't understand the tech. My competency level in tech was so low. I just stopped and I was just so defeated. I'm like, I don't even want to open up my business because it's hard. And what if something doesn't work? And I don't want to deal with that shit right now. I'd rather just sit on the couch and stuff my face with Cheetos. So now landing pages are built, CRM is built, funnels are in, everything's there. Coaching calls done by myself. That's my dream from the start, has been sit here, connect with people, do coaching calls. And that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on nailing down trifectas every single day for you guys.
So how's like the follow? Because I'm sure follow up and all that's going to be different. Because say, for example, myself, I have a guy hit my ad. He goes through, watches the webinar, goes through the process. I wouldn't want to send him, say, a mini chat or a follow up the next day trying to build rapport, because he's already going through a process. And I would look at it as like, the fuck are these guys doing? Are they working together? Or I got a call set up with Kevin, but Dustin's asking me questions and all this.
It'll be email sequencing for so basically when the person hits a call, like to book a call, they'll have 2 or 3 reminders, most likely through text message. So we'll have text reminders hitting these guys up for their call. And then as far as our mini chat and stuff like that, if you do get comments or whatever the case is, it's going to be more on value. Hey guys, today I'm reading this book. I found this super thing. It's really awesome. I hope to connect you guys. If you haven't booked your call yet, make sure you book your call and speak to one of our coaches. We want to get you started. Or, if you're looking on where to start, get in touch with me and I'll set you up with our budgeting and money management course. So that's basically what you're going to be doing in your mini chats now is sending people either to a coaching call on someone who's qualified to be a coach and to talk, which is another reason why a lot of people are hesitant. Like, why would someone buy off me, man? I don't fucking, who am I? I haven't made any money. I haven't made any sales. I'm at the same level as this guy, where now, like literally, I'm offloading my entire business to somebody else to run, so I can be in the driver's seat of knowing I have call after call after call after call. I have a questionnaire of everything that I need to know about this person. And I'm going to drive them into buying a trifecta and making some money with us and moving on to the next people and really leading from, the top down and helping you guys close your sales and start ranking up so you can focus on creating your ads and filling your funnel instead of having to do all that other stuff.
So then we don't do any of our own coaching calls until we're 5A.
I would prefer
basically,
that.
or we're okay.
Or if you want to be on the call, I would love for you guys to be on the call. Like,
okay, because I was just concerned about as like a 2A working on the development, so that like when we're at 5A, we are doing coaching calls. We're not like, oh shit, like I haven't done any coaching calls since before the system started. Like I don't know how that would work if you would like just notify us like, hey, this is your guy, you want to be on this coaching call this time or whatever.
Yeah, I would prefer that, honestly, to have 3-way calls, because then I can just edify you guys, which is way better. Oh, Melinda's been so great ever since even though she got kids and never made excuses, always showed up on time. Love seeing her beautiful smile. It's awesome. Oh, Kevin's been such a great mentor. So we, it's going back and forth like that. And also the training that's coming up in GPM, everyone should be there. This is the one of the missing keys is the leadership training. I am a leader. I read books, but I'm not a leadership trainer yet. I'm not qualified of it. I've never been through leadership training. You read all the books, you try to put it together yourself. So I'm super excited for the training on my own. And that's something for the 4As and above, the people that are 4As already. There will be a special offer for additional training. But yeah, again, I would love it if everyone on those calls were available to be on the Zoom calls with us, because that would make a huge difference in your guys' development. Good stuff. Well, I smell tandoori chicken cooking in my kitchen, so I'm out of here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun putting it together. Again, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these sort of Zooms, having a VA set up our meetings for us, having it planned out ahead of time, having more structure inside of our business. A lot of good things coming down the pipe, guys. I'm super excited. And shout out to my future new guy, Justin McDonald, for showing up, even though he's not in the business yet, man. Nice seeing your face here.
Thanks, Kevin.
Awesome, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See ya.
Kevin. Night, guys.